Hello everyone, I am back with another video today. Today we are continuing the 1940s chapter out of Baking Yesteryear. Our next recipe in this chapter is the dream bars, which I am really looking forward to giving a try. Like always, I'm always super excited to be sharing these recipes with you and seeing how they turn out and giving them a try and all of that. These looked pretty simple to make. And everything. There's a crust layer and then like a filling layer, and it all gets baked together, and it did look pretty good. Um, so yeah, um, let's get started. All right, so for the crust of the dream bars, we are going to be using some flour, some brown sugar, and then some butter. The butter does need to be melted, but I am not going to do that until I am ready to start making the crust. Um, so for our filling, we are going to be using some eggs, some more brown sugar, some more flour, baking powder, some salt, some pecans, and some coconut. That is everything that we will be needing for this recipe, so let's get started. All right, so to make the crust, we are just going to combine all the ingredients for the crust and mix this up until it is a uniform kind of crumb consistency type thing. And then we're going to put it in the pan. Once I have this in the pan, I will show you guys what it looks like. All right, so I've got the crust all mixed together and pressed into my pan. It came together really nice. I'm going to bake this for 15 minutes, and then we're going to let it cool. While it is cooling, we will be making the filling that is going to go on top of this. All right, so I've taken the crust out of the oven. It looks really good. It smells really good. Let's get started with our filling. All right, so to start the filling, we are going to beat together the eggs and the brown sugar. Once I have that done, I will be back. All right, so I've got the eggs and the brown sugar mixed up. So to continue the filling, we are going to add the rest of the ingredients, but we're going to mix them up or mix it together in the order that they're given. So the next ingredient that we are going to add is going to be the flour. All right, so the flour is mixed in. We are now going to add the baking powder, and I'm going to get that mixed in really quick. All right, so next up is the salt, and that is going to be followed by the pecans, and then the coconut is going to get mixed in last. Once I have the filling completely done, I will show you guys what this looks like. All right, so I've got the filling done, and I have put it on top of my crust here. It looks really good. Let's get these in the oven so we can give them a try. All right, so the bars are done. I'm hoping I didn't over bake them. I did leave them in the oven a little bit longer than what the recipe said because they didn't look quite done, and now they look a little brown. They're not burnt or anything, and I think they'll still be fine. I'm just hoping I didn't leave them in there a little bit too long, but I'm going to let them cool and give them a try, and we'll see how they are. After I've given them a try, I will be back with my final thoughts. All right, so I am back with my final thoughts on the dream bars. They turned out pretty good. They had a really good flavor to them. I think I might have chopped up the pecans a little bit too finely, but they still turned out okay. When I did let them cool, and then when I tried them, they were still a little warm and they were a little crumbly at that point. Um, they were better the next day. They weren't quite as crumbly the next day after they were 100% completely cool and everything. I don't know if these are something I would make a lot of. They just weren't quite as good as I was hoping they would be. They did turn out pretty well and everything like that. I didn't think they were spectacular or anything, but they definitely weren't horrible either. Just kind of right in that middle zone where they weren't crazy good, but they weren't bad either. You know what I mean? It would definitely be something that if somebody wanted me to make them again, I definitely would because they were pretty simple to make and everything. And like I said, did turn out pretty well. I just wasn't super impressed with them. I just kind of felt like right in the middle of like could kind of take it or leave them and all of that. But yeah, they were all right. So yeah, if you do have this book and are curious about them, definitely give them a try. If you've made them, please let me know what you thought of them down in the comments below. Have you made other recipes for dream bars? How does it compare to this one and everything? Next week, we will be back with our third recipe from the 1940s chapter, which is a honey oatmeal bread, which I'm looking forward to making. That looked really good. Still really enjoying like the breads and everything, and it's been a while since we've done any breads on here. So I will be looking forward to getting into that. So until next week, the time's good food. Bye.